simple life. It doesn't have much. It doesn't worry him where you're going. Yeah, nowhere.
Okay, well, I recorded videos of like 4 or 5 different fans tonight, but of course this camera, the battery is kind of wonky on it, so I have to get a new battery for this thing. I've had this camera almost as long as I've had this channel, and in its day it was a really pretty high-end camera, but now it's, the battery's never great on it, but now it's really not great on it. But that's okay. This is a late 70s, early 80s Galaxy. I always forget the model number, 12-inch oscillating table fan. This is the second blue one I own currently. This is the third blue one I've had, and all 3 of the blue ones I've had have the pointy blades. I had a 16-inch with the pointy blades too, which I don't know if I ever made a video of. I no longer have it. I will have to look. But that was the end of 2016 I had that fan. I only had it for a few months, probably about a year. Actually almost 2 years, but I really didn't use it a lot. I have a couple pictures of it though. This one is the beater of the two, although this one's more unique. This one has a lighter colored blue blades. The center hub is a slightly different, but you can't see it. I had to take the blade completely off. It has an oscillator knob that screws on, which I believe is a reverse threaded screw, which means you tighten it to the left and you loosen it to the right. Righty tighty and lefty loosey. It's the opposite of that. Similar to the blade nut holds the blades on. This does not have a PSC motor. The other blue one I have currently has a PSC motor. The other blue one I have is identical to my original one that I made a video of in the end of 2015. The other one also has a different nut to hold the grill on. This one does not. This one has the same nut the other ones do, but it's a different type of plastic. This one takes, I think, 0.43 amps. I don't know what the other ones take. But this has a shaded pole motor. This one's kind of rusty. Got it for $5 at a yard sale. And I had a whole story. I'm not getting into it now. But I made a video of a Sanyo, a good video of the Sanyo. I'm uploading the short, kind of shitty video. I have a blue Panasonic with 5-way oscillation with gummy bearings that I'll explain later that I have to work on more. And I also recorded a video of my 1982, I believe it was made, Galaxy 16-inch oscillating table fan with the brownish blades and the gold grills. I still have that one. Had that thing since 2013. I have 2 other videos of it. Go check them out if you haven't already. Yeah. This one I let my dog use on the floor, so it's dirty. Like I explained it in the 16-inch video, but because I recorded on my phone, I didn't turn the phone sideways, so they're all skinny. So if you really want to see them, I can upload them, because otherwise they came out really good, but I don't want to upload videos like that if I can avoid it. I might still upload them. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I mean, it's not up to my videos aren't the best quality to start with, and that's really not up to my standards at all. But I have a little piece of cardboard in there because the grates rattle. That's the only thing I hate about these Galaxies. The grates are so prone to rattling. The badge is a little loose on it, but it's there. This one sits on the floor for my dog, and it runs a lot. Got it in September 2019. It's low. All 3 of these blue ones I have the same thing where if you push the low speed down and hold it down, it will not run. Only the low speed does that. It's very quiet. It seems to run at a slightly lower RPM on low than most. And even medium high seems to be roughly about the same. Even that, I think it runs a slightly lower RPM than the PSC motor variants. And it is a little louder. It's a tiny bit off balance, not bad. See, the switch on this one does get sticky at times. I have to work on that. That's new. It used to be if you just push it down. I might have to just get some contact cleaner in there. Yeah, there we go. The oscillation works fine. I took it completely apart, cleaned and oiled the bearings. I didn't take the motor apart, I don't think. I might have. This one does creak because the sheathing on the cable is kind of dry. I have to replace that. But I rarely use this one on oscillation. When I do the oscillators on these things, I do the I either use white lithium grease or I use wheel bearing grease, either green or red. I think this one has green wheel bearing grease in the oscillator if I remember correctly. And then I either use Zoom Spat oil in the motors or I use 3-in-1 with the blue can. Or some other equivalent. I have some random turbine oil and motor oils that I use. Non-detergent, of course. Hi. This one's kind of noisy today. The whole thing's like rattly. It's dirty. But, you know, I use these, you know, most of these fans are not showpieces. I keep them clean. Or cleaned up. And they might get dusty like this one, but they're not beat. I won't let anything happen to them if I can avoid it. You know, an accident. I broke the blade on my old Taytung I had when I was little. Because I bumped it off a table and it was running in the blade. It shattered. But that was my fault. But for the most part, I've been very careful with these. But I have damaged a couple by accident. But, you know, shit happens. You know. But I tend to find the more uncommon, obscure models of things, and I find multiple of them. Like my Lasko Ultra Force box fan I have to make a video of, or I think that's what it's called, with the D-shaped blades. Somebody wanted a video of it a couple years ago. I just haven't gotten to making a lot of videos, but I'm going to try and start making more videos more frequently. So it has a different startup sound than the other ones. I don't know if they all have this, but the middle slat hole in the top is wider. It's almost like it was supposed to be an oil port, but there's no oil port there, at least as far as I can remember. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the startup on high. Yeah, so it definitely sounds a bit different than the PSC models. It's similar, but it's not the same exact sound. So I'm just going to do this one and upload the video to Sanyo tonight, and I'll do the rest later. But like I was saying, you know, I keep them clean. This one's not perfect. The grills are rusty and corroded. Plastic's all in good shape. The blades have like little paint speckles and some scratches on them, but they're not terrible. But I tend to keep them, you know, I use them. They get used. I'm not going to not use them and clean them every 2 weeks. I mean, I will use them for a season or two before I clean or oil them. I'll make sure they don't lie. They start running slow or they're really dirty, I'll clean them. But for the most part, they just get used normally. I just won't put them in a condition that it's going to damage them. I have, you know, some beat up versions like that are really rough. Like I have a 16-inch Galaxy. The amber, not amber blades, it has dark, like smoky gray blades. I don't know if they're original to the fan, but they very well could be. They're at least the right style of blade. They might be from a newer model, but whatever. I know they're not from a Sanyo, that's for sure. But I mean, I use that one, you know, when I'm doing shit like on my car and shit, or working outside. I'll use that one out there. I won't bring the good one out, but you know, they get used. Most of my fans are dusty. I have 2 large dogs, and you know, I have 2 Labradors. They get dirty. So, like I said, I have a lot of videos of a lot of fans and clocks and miscellaneous other things I want to make. But I guess I'll start. You know, if I started recording now, I'd be recording all night. So I'm gonna start with this one and the other one. So sorry for rambling on, but that's it. I put a new 10-foot lamp cord on it because the other cord was really rough and shot. I usually like to keep the original cords, but this one was pretty miserable. And I'll show the base. Yeah, see, my phone did better in the lighting conditions in here. It seems a little more pissy. You barely read that. You hang it on the wall for whatever that's worth, but I don't think I would ever do that. It seems kind of useless unless there's something I'm missing, but it's not going to point back far enough to be really useful unless it's blowing almost directly down at you. So anyway, thanks for watching.
Happy the man. He leads a simple life. It doesn't have much. It doesn't worry him where you're going.